sofrerá alguma transformação.
Para melhor, sem dúvida. Embora sejamos destruidores da natureza, o animal mais perverso, entre aspas, que existe dentro do fenômeno da ecologia, essas mudanças também são inevitáveis. Quando desapareceram os dinossauros, vieram animais melhormente equipados para viver, menos ferozes, mais preparados para as mudanças climatéricas. Agora a natureza experimentará uma mudança, porque nunca houve tanta preocupação humana pela mãe natureza como nós vimos pela segunda vez na história Francisco de Assis ser o verdadeiro pai da ecologia. Mas Jesus o antecipara, porque ele sempre procurou o altar da natureza. O seu templo era o coração humano, como afirma Leon Denis, mas, em realidade, ele viveu em a natureza para demonstrar-nos o respeito a essas paisagens embelezadoras da Terra. E, naturalmente, haverá uma delicada transformação, tanto na flora como na fauna. E eu iria atrevidamente a um pouco mais longe, na própria constituição planetária. Porque, naturalmente, o magma no interior do planeta terrestre seria expulso. A superfície do planeta seria ligeiramente modificada.
Uma pausa agora no vídeo e você vai ver um outro vídeo complementar a esse, que complementa esse assunto, depois que retornamos com esse vídeo.
The apocalypse is coming, sooner or later. But what wave of catastrophe will the four horsemen ride in on? And will that final cataclysmic event be the work of Mother Nature, man, or an unseen force more powerful than either? In the next 2 hours, we'll explore the most plausible, the most popular, and the most frightening routes to humanity's end. Beginning with the scenarios that could kill us before tomorrow, and working outward toward those that await us further down the road. There are at least 4 looming doomsday scenarios that could make today your last day on Earth. One involves the time bomb ticking underneath America's most famous national park. Yellowstone. It's a name synonymous with summer road trips and stunning natural beauty. But underneath its pristine landscapes, a monster is waiting to be unleashed. Few of the camera-toting throngs who visit the park each day realize they are standing on a supervolcano that has enough power to blow them all to kingdom come.
And you say, well, it could erupt tomorrow, or it could erupt 50,000 years from now. But the point is, there's not a clock. There's not a little alarm clock that's one day gonna ding and the thing is gonna explode.
The volcanic giant beneath Yellowstone is a monster waiting to be unleashed. If it erupts again with the same force as it did 2.1 million years ago, the consequences would be unimaginable. The first eruptions would be explosions of steam and ash. Then, within days or even hours, a series of colossal ejections of lava, ash, and smoke would set the sky ablaze and send deadly volcanic debris hurtling hundreds of miles.
Ash is going to fall from the sky for days or weeks as though it were a blizzard. But this isn't snow. It's powdered rock, ash. And as that mixes with any kind of rain or moisture, it's going to basically turn into cement, a layer of cement that could be several feet deep in some places. The weight of that is going to do unbelievable amounts of destruction. Houses, buildings, bridges, they're all going to fall apart.
The devastation wouldn't end at America's shores. The debris from the eruption would penetrate the stratosphere, drift around the planet, and cause global temperatures to plummet into what scientists term a volcanic winter.
In any volcanic eruption, you're going to have release of a lot of steam, carbon dioxide, and usually sulfur dioxide as well. Those go off into the atmosphere.
So sulfur gases that go up into the stratosphere and react with water and form little droplets of sulfuric acid. And this sulfuric haze lasts for a couple years, and that's what blocks out the sun and cools the Earth.
Over a few years, Yellowstone's mega eruption would begin to transform the planet, turning deserts into tundras and rainforests into barren wastelands. The sudden freeze would paralyze what's left of society.
It's obliterating the sunshine for 2 or 3 growing seasons that causes agriculture to fail and causes the economy to fail and causes people to starve. And when people starve, we know frequently it leads to rebellion and insurrection and warfare and just the whole system. It's the domino effect.
Imagine our entire existence endangered by one cranky caldera. But here's the real kicker. Yellowstone isn't the only so-called supervolcano lying dormant beneath our feet. There are potentially 7 supervolcanoes around the world. From New Mexico to Indonesia, Siberia to Japan, California to New Zealand. Beneath Yellowstone is a vast underground reservoir of magma that lies at a depth between 5 and 15 miles beneath the surface. This underground chamber of semi-molten rock is nearly 45 by 35 miles across, blocked from reaching the surface by the Earth's crust. But when the pressure finally reaches the breaking point, the stage is set for a catastrophic eruption.
Supervolcanoes are not like the cone-shaped volcanoes that we all know, and it's kind of central casting volcano and it pops out. Supervolcanoes are entirely underground.
Shifts in the Earth's tectonic plates may be responsible for Yellowstone's hotspot, but a definitive answer has yet to be found.
It's still a controversy exactly why the Yellowstone hotspot is here and how it's moved with time, but what we do know is that there's a tremendous amount of heat and magma being created in this general area.
If Yellowstone does decide to blow its top, a chain of events would unfold that haven't been seen on Earth in 75,000 years.
The last supervolcano killed off on the order of 90% of the human species was back then. In today's terms, that would be about 5.5 billion people.
Think twice next time you get the urge to hop in your RV and head for Old Faithful. Yellowstone has blown its lid in a big way at least 3 times before. 2.1 million years ago, 1.3 million years ago, and 640,000 years ago. At that pace, roughly every 700,000 years, we could be due for another Earth change. To fully comprehend the scale of Yellowstone's might, you would need to be miles above the Earth. Its caldera makes even the largest volcano seem like nothing more than a pimple.
The caldera of a volcano is a crater that's left after a lot of the magma has emptied out of it and the overlying land has crushed down into it. In the case of the Yellowstone caldera, you're talking about something that's about 34 miles wide by about 45 miles long. If all of your conceptions of a volcanic eruption are based on pictures you've seen of volcanoes at Hawaii, prepare to readjust.
Even one of the most famous eruptions in recent history, Mount St. Helens, would pale in comparison to a supervolcano. Yellowstone's past has given us a sneak peek at what's possible when America's favorite national park decides to send a message from the belly of the beast. When Yellowstone exploded 2.1 million years ago, it ejected 2,500 cubic kilometers of molten rock, 6,000 times more than Mount St. Helens.
It's hard to visualize 6,000 times, but I frequently ask visitors, have you ever written a personal check for $1,000? Most say they have. And then I ask them if they've ever written a personal check for $6 million. That's 6,000 times difference as far as buying power. Think of that in terms of volcanic eruptions, and you can begin to conceptualize the forces involved.
The only thing more frightening than the power of a supervolcano is its unpredictability. Even for the experts, determining when and where one will erupt is the ultimate guessing game. But there is one telltale sign to watch for.
But if you imagine very hot rocks starting to move its way upward in the ground, that rock will be fracturing other rocks, so you'll be getting hundreds to thousands of earthquakes.